Set in the 22nd century, JUNG-E is a dystopian story about a mankind who has long abandoned an uninhabitable Earth for man-made shelters on Moon's orbital plane. A war breaks out between the factions of the Allied and Adrian Republic, and the war rages on for over 40 years, with the last ditch in technology seemingly being the key to ending the war. JUNG-E revolves around the technology of brain cloning. In an effort to end the war, our story takes place mainly in the Chronoid labs, where simulations are run on combat AI, trying to replicate the combat prowess of renowned hero of Korea, Jung-E, the namesake for JUNG-E. However, her last ever mission was a failure, and each time they run a new simulation, JUNG-E fails at the same point at which she failed in her last mission.
When director Sang-un is faced with an eventual shutdown of the program and pivot to other consumer AI products, things get heated in trying to figure out the mystery of JUNG-E's failure and finding a solution. Chief engineer Yoon So-hyun, who is in charge of R&D, happens to be JUNG-E's actual daughter. What starts as a conversation around programming and brain response algorithms turns into a heartwarming story about a mother and a daughter. JUNG-E's charms as a movie lies in its ability to tell a story around a perpetual war, with its story heavily focused on the relationship between Yoon So-hyun and JUNG-E, the brain clone. Through more simulations and brain anomalies, So-hyun finds out that JUNG-E had been failing in the same part of simulation this whole time because of a relic from the past. As Chronoid prepares to make pivot to consumer products, with the war between the two factions closing, So-hyun realizes the vein of her work and decides to free JUNG-E once and for all from the tortures of director Sang-hoon and the pain of his endless loop of failures. She erases JUNG-E's memories of her daughter and helps JUNG-E escape from the facility. Wow, this was fantastic. This was like a love letter to sci-fi, Kira or Ghost in the Shell, or like any kind of cyberpunk story that I've ever seen. I would akin it to Love, Death, and Robots, but like a movie version of an episode from that show.
This is the first Korean drama movie that I've seen in the cyberpunk space. It kind of reminds me of the movie Archive. It's seemingly set in the backdrop of this war, but the story is not of the war, right? It's about this intimate relationship between AI and programmer, and in this case, the AI and programmer is a daughter and mother. The movie's charm is this story between the two and what makes JUNG-E ultimately fail these simulations and fail as a combat AI.
Yeah, and it's also kind of like relevant to any kind of conversations you have about what's going to happen in the future when it comes to artificial intelligence and robotics and how scary it might be. You think about Terminator, Judgment Day. It really kind of focused on the humanity of it all. The capabilities of AI just doesn't have the capability of kind of owning is love.
And those are the frontiers of artificial intelligence, is exploring those parts of the brain that are not quantifiable. What starts consciousness? This is a huge concept that is just confusing to study because we don't know, we can't quantify our thoughts and experience. And so to try to program that in an algorithm is a gigantic task, an enormous task. When it comes to AI, is that AI will never be more powerful or smarter than the sum of all human intelligence because they come from us. How are we going to try to program love after how many hundreds and thousands of years of existence?
Of course.
We can't. What is love? That was like the linchpin of what made this movie good. At the very last moments of the movie, where she found out that she had a daughter.
They never really showed it being fully deleted because that was like a really heartwarming scene, even though she is a robot now, the mom, that kind of interaction of like their past. And it was a very heartwarming moment, but I don't know if her memory of her daughter was fully deleted.
It might not have been fully deleted, but that sequence kind of implies as much. Kind of like there's like split second moments in the face that you can see where JUNG-E is coming to this realization.
And it kind of breaches onto that tension point where the robots can achieve awareness or being sentient beings, right? Like, and I think it really kind of touches on that because a robot wouldn't react that way. Algorithms and codes of being a human is what's transforming this robot in a sense, and it's all kind of like mind-blowing stuff to think about. But like, I think that movie was just like a great way to end that story in that sense because see JUNG-E looking on the horizon with the sunrise. And there's like hope for the future, so to speak.
And this topic will always just kind of bring out the nerd in me because like, you know, there's always so much about the human condition and our thoughts and experiences that are so intangible that you can't possibly program it. At least for now, I will never be scared of AI or robots becoming more than a human or more than that of a human because we ourselves can't grasp, that we don't understand. It's going to be tough to achieve like transcendence from a robotic standpoint.
Well, I hope it doesn't happen. Well, at least I can rely on ChatGPT to write our headline for this video.
Of course, by the final moments of the movie, we are greeted with a tribute to Kang Soo-yoon, who gave her final performance to this movie. We just want to say rest in peace and thank you for this. But that'll do it for this review of JUNG-E on Netflix. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and subscribe for more videos like it. Don't forget to hit the bell icon to turn on notifications. But as always, this is where we're watching this Sunday. We'll see you guys in the future.